Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So I've got the Vivo Nex dual screen in the house, and I want to go ahead and give you a complete walkthrough, or a detailed walkthrough of what it comes out of the box. I do have all my accounts signed in, but I haven't downloaded any apps yet. So first I want to go over a couple of specs. 3500 milliamp hour battery inside, 10 gigs of RAM, a 12 megapixel on the rear with a 2 megapixel and a time of flight camera, which is basically can be used to manipulate things in real time, like your face or the scenery. And then you've got a 5.5 inch display on the rear here. I just used the facial recognition. You can see how fast it is. So this is a 5.5 inch Super AMOLED display on the rear. It's really nice. I really like this setup. You got your LED tone flash there, and you got a Nex brand there. On the front, you do have a fingerprint reader. You can see how fast it is. It is really fast. And this is a 6.39 inch 1080p Super AMOLED display here. This thing has 10 gigs of RAM, and I believe this has 128 gigs of storage. It's the only option configurations that I've seen online. So this is pretty fast. I did the unboxing portion, and I just played with it for a little while, went through some of the settings, and I didn't remove anything yet because I wanted to show you what actually comes on the phone as is. I'm going to show you the storage. I don't have any apps on here, remember, so I'm gonna go down to storage. As you can see, 128 gigs, and you've got 115 available. I haven't put anything on here yet. And then there's the 10 gigs of RAM. So if you go into it, you can see I have that much available. All right, so apps, bloatware, I would say probably it came directly with the Google stuff, which I was going to install if it didn't have it. So this says to be the global version, but I'll check the LTE bands before this video is out. I don't think it has, this says the global version. So the global version is supposed to have all of the bands on it for LTE for the US. But anyway, it comes with Duo, which I don't use. Facebook, let's see how it'll work for uninstalling. Yeah, you just hit the X and deletes it, and it's gone. The buttons weren't like this. They were reversed, as you saw in the opening setup. So you got kids mode, you've got lock, you've got news, reader, videos. I think the Facebook, to me, is the only bloatware that I can see as something that I just wouldn't use. Other than that, this is like tools and things like that. The news, I probably won't do that either. You got that easy share that I'll be using later. That'll help you set up. And you got the V App Store, obviously, and I guess that can be considered bloat for us because we don't use the V App Store. It might be something good in there. I'm not going to uninstall it, but you've got iMusic, iTheme, and calendar, weather, and iManager, and clock, and things like that. All these stuff right here you can remove. These are just widgets that they put on the screen here. They can all be removed. As you can see here, when you long press like that, you get this setup here to adjust things and delete applications. I like Fun OS. This is running Android Pie. Let's go into the settings here. I don't mind Fun OS because I use the Vivo Nex S, and I love that phone. So the software on here doesn't, I don't think it's going to bother me at all. Let me see if I can get to About Phone here. I haven't played with it much. I just played with it a little bit. Let's see here, more settings, About Phone. Then you've got Android 9 there, so it's Android Pie, and it's running the December security patch. You can also see more in here, the 2.4 gigahertz Snapdragon 845. It's in there along with the 10 gigs of RAM and other information about the phone. So it did come with a bumper. In a bumper case. I didn't notice it at first, but one other thing about the phone is it does come with a screen protector already built into the set on the phone, not built in, but it's on the phone, the front and the rear. So they do have some protection to start you off with. So on this side, you got two power buttons, by the way. So you got a power button here and a power button here, and then you've got the volume rocker here, and then you've got a headphone jack and a microphone up top, and you've got a SIM tray on the bottom here, Type C, and a speaker. The loudspeaker on this thing is actually pretty good. So I'm going to put in this put on this bumper case here. It's like a soft touch matte, and it'll give you some protection, not as much as you would want more than likely, but I'm sure this is the type of, oh, I turned on the flashlight somehow. Oh, Fun OS. This is the type of cases that you're going to be subject to with this type of phone. The facial recognition is really fast. As you can see, I'm behind the camera. I was really impressed with that. But you got a speaker on both sides, man. So when you flip it over, you know what I'm saying? I got to turn on the settings for when I flip it back and forth. It'll adjust on its own. But you got a speaker on both sides. You've got port out here for this. This is just really, really nice, man. It's a really nice setup. So I'll probably install my applications real fast and come back to you guys in a little while. And you know, this will be a pretty lengthy record for me because I want to charge it up. I want to use it. I also want to show you the LTE bands, if it gets any at all. I'm going to use this whether it gets LTE in the US or not, because I'm just going to stay on Wi-Fi at home. And when I'm not at home, I'll just be on whatever coverage I get. So keep watching. Let's see what's next. All right, guys, so I'm back. I've been using it for a little bit. First thing I want to answer is the model that I have said it was a global version, but it does not pick up LTE for the US. I'm on Edge, but like I told you, I'm using this regardless. Edge, 3G, whatever, it didn't matter what it was. I've been using it not on Wi-Fi, and all my SMS and internet and everything works. So I'm not worried about that if I need to leave the house for something. So here's the setup. Here's the screen. I haven't changed the screen wallpaper or anything like that, but I did change all my icons, installed everything that I need to have installed, and this is it. So if you swipe from the bottom, remember Fun Touch OS, you have your control center and everything down here, and then you've got volume and brightness and some recent apps. If you swipe from the top, you'll see your notification, and you can also search, and you can also clear out the notifications from there as well. So going into the settings, first of all, this phone has 10 gigs of RAM, so this should be pretty speedy. Even though it has an overlay over Android Pie, it's pretty fast, man. I don't know if it's just because of Android Pie. The 10 gigs of RAM should help a little bit, but here's the settings menu. So at the top, you've got Wi-Fi, mobile network, your personal hotspot, Bluetooth, and it does have OTG. You go to status and notification. You can see how you can get your little pop-up at the top if you want to, or you can just turn it off. You can do show on lock screen, wake up screen for the reminder. I always put my network speed up there because I have really fast Wi-Fi, so I like to see how it's doing over internet. You can change your battery to the inside or the outside of the icon. I normally leave it on the outside. I think it's kind of weird to have it, or you can turn it off. And then you've got, you can edit the notifications. So if you get a new message, you can have it show none, you know, the number or original icon, or change the current one. So again, I got the data usage up there. And then here you have system navigation. So this does have gestures. I tried the gestures. I turned it off. I was like, I can't do it. But here's all the different things that you can do for the type of icons, the way they look at the bottom. Now, by default, it came like this. This is the way it came. But I changed it to this and this. I like that oval shape with the 3 lines, and I think that's pretty cool. You can also have the fixed landscape if you want to, by your choice. You've got Jovi down there. I don't use Jovi because it's not something that's offered. It's like a Google Assistant, but I don't use it. You got your Do Not Disturb. Obviously, you got that all. You know what that's about. You've got sound and vibration. Pretty loud ringtone. This is just all it is, man. That's all it is. Touch sounds, you know, everything like that. You do have hi-fi audio for music, videos, YouTube. It'll enhance the sound for you and give it better quality. So the dual screen setup, this is all the settings that you can have in here. So you've got, by enabling this switch, the light effect will prompt to be displayed. So this little thing right here lights up. So if I plug in the charger, you'll see it light up and things like that. So it just gives different lighting effects. That's all. It's a little circle right here. Sometimes it lights at the top. Sometimes the entire thing lights up. It's really cool. Full screen display on the rear. You can enable apps that can display on full screen. Pretty simple to go through. This shows you how you want to switch the screen. I have it set right now to do it with both buttons. So if I do it like that, you can see now I'm on the small screen, which is pretty cool. You got the dual screen display. Oh, now this is going to increase the battery life if you turn this on. So it tells you you'll increase by about 10%. So obviously I'm not going to turn that on. You can have it to turn over to open message on screen, spinning notification, basic things that you're going to use this for. You know, you're going to use the screen, the second screen for these things if you want to. Now, the brightness and display, the display gets pretty bright, man. These are Super AMOLED displays. You can see how bright that is. So I'm switching to the other one. You can see it gets really, really bright, but I have it on auto bright, and I normally keep it at about like that. I keep my screen at 10% lock. I like to lock it when I want to lock it. So you got this screen, the eye protection. You can set a time, or you can do it manually. It basically turns the screen to like that orange yellow looking tint. It's supposed to be easier on your eyes. I'm still not used to that. You can lock the rotation. You got different fonts here. You've got this font like this. So if you go back, you see it's loading that new font, which looks pretty cool. And you've got font size. Excuse me, my bad. Font size. You can change it. I have it on normal right now. You can change it to large or huge. You can change the color temperature and everything if you want to. You can adjust it warmer, cooler. So I think that's cool. I just leave it at default. Display in full screen. So these are some apps right here you can display in full screen. Yes, I want to do that. Yep, these are a couple of games and my email, obviously. I don't need those other ones to display in full screen. Display full screen on the rear screen. No apps in there yet. And the lock screen and wallpaper. So the lock screen poster, I need to turn it off because it loops all these. I'm glad I got to this point because it's looping all these different wallpapers that I'm just not interested in. I just like to have one wallpaper, and I'll set that up too. So the lock screen style, you can go with the magazine, or you can go with light. So right now you can see the difference. Go with the magazine, you can see what it looks like. I'll just leave it right there for now. Lock screen settings, festival lock screen wallpaper, definitely turn it off. Change wallpaper based on theme, nope, turn that off. Home screen, because this does have themes too, man. I think it's pretty cool that it has themes on here. And you can, I'll go into the theme store in a little bit. And then see you got home screen layout. You can change how you want it. I got it on 5x6, obviously. Don't want it any smaller than that. Circular sliding screen. I don't know what that is. When home screen looping is on, smart launcher will be automatically turned. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to do home screen looping, so just keep looping through pretty much. I already showed you home screen layout, icon patterns. Now this is pretty cool right here. I just saw this in a demo somewhere. But you can basically change it from circular to square. As you can see, you look there and it's changing. You see how it's turned square now? You can decide how round you want it. That's cool, right? I'll leave it about right there. That's pretty cool. Home screen icon change with the wallpaper. That's fine. Change home screen based on thing. You got dynamic icons. So basically that's probably just going to make them look even more. They turn around. There it is. They loop around. We learn as we go. So that's what the dynamic icon. So it makes a little animation and stuff like that. So you've got themes. Here's some themes on here. This is the default theme. I'm going to switch it to this theme right here. Just see what happens. See what it looks like. That's a nice color theme. And the icons changed too. If you can see how the icons changed. That's pretty tight. I like that theme. Everything looks a little different now. Yeah, that's clean. All right. So there's different themes, and you can download more themes or whatever. So that's cool. Wallpaper settings. Wow, that's clean right there. These are nice. And you've got live wallpapers. Not going to get into all of that. I checked for a system update. It's up to date. Fingerprint and face. I've already demonstrated the fingerprint and facial recognition. They are both really, really fast. And that's a good thing. Security and privacy. Obviously, you got all this stuff in here. You know what's up with security and privacy. Battery. You even have super power mode, which I think is really, really cool. So, yeah, that's gonna be nice. I might turn that on at night just to save battery. I do want to go in here and see if there's a notification that it's going to be okay. Yeah, I can turn those on and off if I want to be notified of things that are using a lot of battery. Yeah. So RAM and storage, I've already gone in here. You can see the RAM. I've got almost 8 gigs free. Wow, that's crazy. You can clean up your storage from here. I installed all my apps and I still have 111 gigs available. More settings. Obviously, you've got About Phone. You've got App Manager. App Manager is just all the apps that you have on the phone. You can change permissions and delete and stuff like that. Permission Manager, Picture in Picture. You definitely want Picture in Picture for things on there. Modify system settings, install unknown apps. Yes, I'll want to do that eventually. Default app settings. So messages, phone, email. Email is going to now be Inbox for me. And browser is going to now be Chrome. Gboard, I already set that up. You can change the camera app, everything in here, music, everything. You can change it all in here. Pretty nice. You've got the floating window too for some of these things. Okay. All right. So Control Center, you got recent apps, global search. You can do Control Center, open from lock screen. I always turn that off. So if I put my phone down, people can't just get in there and start making changes, turning on stuff. So pretty nice. You swipe from the bottom in order to get to that. And I think that's pretty cool. You can do a VPN. You've got Easy Touch is this little button that pops up right here. That's all it is. We've seen that before. You just make it easier on yourself if the phone is too big for you. But for that matter, you can just hit the both buttons and switch around to this side over here. See how fast that facial recognition is? Wow. You also have face and beauty call for these things right here, man. You see they have BBM in there? Look at that. I don't even have BBM installed, but it's available for those right there for pretty much video call things. Flashlight notifications. If you get a message, it'll flash the light back there, which is cool. Date and time, task manager. You guys know the drill on that. And this looks like some service and stuff like that. So those are my accounts in there, my Vivo Cloud. Messaging, phone, album count, same old thing. Smart motion should be, let's see here, shake to turn on flashlight. That's how I turned on the flashlight earlier. Air unlock. The air unlock function can only be used. Rear screen is not supported by our, okay, gotcha. Very nice. Smart reminder. That's probably just a, so miss a call. All right. We can leave that on. Smart wake, double click light, raised wake, double tap, turn screen off. All of these are nice. I like all of those, man. I love double tap to wake and things like that. I think that's just a smart way to have your phone set up. So screenshot tells you how to take a screenshot with these two. I already know how to do that. Oh, these two, I'm sorry. I already know how to do that. I don't like having that one. S capture. You can do voice record. Wow. Recording progress, doing start record. Wow, okay. Nice. It's got the instructions on here. Record screen. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm glad this has a built-in screen recorder, man. Really I hate when things don't have a screen recorder, and that's S capture right there. Yes. Anyway, let's get out of here. And smart click, one hand mode. Screen's off, press and hold the volume. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. All right, so that's pretty much a quick rundown, man. You got one hand mode, but again, if you feel like this phone's a little too big, I would just use this side over here as your primary screen, but I don't think a person is gonna do that. So we'll switch it back over. And there it is, man. Give you a nice little run through real fast. The phone is hot, like I said. Again, for those that are gonna keep asking, does it work LTE in the US? My model does not. My models does not. So if you use the link down below in the US, you're not going to get full LTE. There are other sites where you can find this phone and get full LTE models, supposedly. But mine is listed as a global model, and it's not, it doesn't have the LTE bands. So that's just what it is. But I bought this knowing, I'll say I don't care whether it has LTE or not in the US. I'm on Wi-Fi most of the time at home, so I don't really care. I'm just going to use it as is on Wi-Fi. It's blazing fast still. Now let me give you a size comparison before I get out of here. Here is the OnePlus. This is pretty much the same size as the OnePlus 6T. So if you have a OnePlus 6T, you know how this phone feels. Here it is next to the Pixel 3. And let me get the Note out of this case. Here it is next to the Note. Obviously it's a lot smaller than the Note, even though it has the same size screen, because this is all screen. So there you have it, man. Those are just the phones that I have on my desk. I wanted to go ahead and give you a full walkthrough like I always do. I did not touch on the camera. I know I didn't, but because I'm going to save the camera for another video. But I've been testing this camera and it is hot. So what I will do is I'll close out the video with some photo samples that I've taken, man. Here they are. Wow. I mean, they are just crazy, man. You can enable 24 megapixel mode too on here. So I had it enabled right there. I'm gonna turn it off though. But so I'll close out the video with some photo samples, all the video and everything on here. I'll get to it in another video. This thing is hot, man. So when I plug it up on my charger here, I'll show you what happens here. See, it's got a little smiley face there. This ring right here starts to light up and it kind of goes on both sides, man. I've learned that it'll be a lightning bolt on here and you see the little ring charging right there. Pretty sweet, right? It's your man Jay. I hope you enjoyed, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.